How powerful was the Black Panthers?
Man, the Black Panther Party as a militia, and they were much more than a militia. They were also a community outreach and community education movement, right? So I don't want to minimize them to their military, but they were founded for the purpose of what? So it was called the Black Panther Party for self-defense, to defend the community against the police, who pretty much were doing what they still do today, going around beating, killing, and murdering black folks. And so Bobby Seale, who I met, okay, once, Huey P. Newton, they came together, okay, and they said, listen, we're going to stop this from going on. And they organized, brother, and they basically took on the police for black people. And they were in their 20s. What impresses me so much about the Black Panther Party, and there's a lot that impresses me about them, these brothers and sisters were in their 20s. They were babies. They were babies taking on the military wing of the United States government in defense of African people. You heard what J. Edgar Hoover said. He said they were the greatest threat to American internal security. The Panthers was no joke. Imagine having a shootout with the police. They were serious. A lot of Panthers died, but guess what? They also unalived other people who was posing a threat to our community. The Black Panthers is probably, arguably, the most relevant black organization we've had in America after Garvey. And I say after Garvey because Marcus Garvey's militia, which was the Universal African Legion or the African Guards of Garvey, they too had shootouts with the police. One time, the Honorable Marcus Garvey made the chief of police sit his ass down when he came in there to try to shut down the Garvey meeting. And they basically said, you try to shut us down, we'll shut you down. You know, one of the reasons that the Honorable Marcus Garvey met with the Grand Wizard of the Ku Klux Klan is because the Garvey's military and the KKK were shooting and killing each other, particularly in the southern states. Like they were literally at war. And so when Garvey met with the Grand Wizard of the KKK and W.E.B. Du Bois and A. Philip Randolph and other Negroes, they said, this man is crazy. What is he doing sitting down with the leader of the KKK? They didn't understand that you're looking at Garvey, who's the head of a nation, and you're looking at the Grand Wizard of the KKK, who's the head of a nation. They wasn't coming together to be friends. They was coming together for a ceasefire. They was coming together for a ceasefire. And the Grand Wizard of the Ku Klux Klan told the Right Excellent Honorable Marcus Messiah Garvey that a lot of the murders that are happening to black people in the South are not being done by Klansmen. They're being done by other white people, and they're blaming us for it. So that was just a diplomatic conversation, no different than when Donald Trump sit down and meet with the president of South Korea or the president of China. It's just a diplomatic conversation, and you got to always keep an open line of communication with your enemy, because if you can prevent lives from being lost, why would you not do so?
All right. So I've been paying attention to you for a long time, right? And one of the things that I've always noticed that people try to nitpick and try to bring you down on is the school,
Hmm.
right? The first thing people say, oh, he do all this talking, but where's the school? Ain't no school. He taking all these people money, which is something I don't think, I know you wouldn't do, right? So can you give us a status on the school and what's the holdups so we can get these haters out of here?
Yes, indeed. The first thing that comes to mind when I think about the school is, number one, uh, the people complaining have never built a single institution in their life, let alone for black people, right? So one of the things that I find amusing about the slander that I get on the FDMG Academy campaign is coming from people who have never built shit in their life, let alone for black people. One of the reasons I don't entertain the negativity and the slander and the defamation of my character is because it's coming from people who don't support me anyway. Like let's be really real about something. I am the most popular person in black consciousness probably in the world, second maybe to Ibrahim Traore of Burkina Faso. I'm definitely the most popular person in black consciousness in the United States. There's nobody even close. I'm the most requested speaker in the entire world. Okay, I'm the only scholar on this planet living right now in the African race who's spoken on every continent multiple times. You understand? I speak more out the country than everybody in the conscious community put together speak in this country. Nobody is even close to Dr. Umar. I'm at the top by myself. Quote me on that shit, right? So with that being
Talk
said,
that talk.
99% of black people support me. It's the 1%. See, if you look at the YouTubian struggle streamers and the cyber thoughts, it's always the same 10 people. New videos every day, new videos every week, new videos every weekend. Why you think they got to constantly keep this up? because the power of positivity that is behind me is so strong that if you're going to try to slander him, you got to do this every day. He get too much love. You can't stop Dr. Umar with one video, two video. You got to keep on doing it. So I say all that to say, good brothers, that in the grand scheme of things, it's not a big idea. It's not a big deal to me because I know the school is coming one day, right? It's like if somebody told you, you told them you was going to buy this car, hypothetically, right? It's taking you a long time to buy that car, but you know you're going to buy that car. What you need to argue for? You're going to shut everybody up when you get the car. So it's the same thing with the school. What am I arguing for? The only way I win this is to produce it. You see what I'm saying? But let us be clear, gentlemen. This is not about people thinking Dr. Umar is stealing the money. We've been audited twice already because of the struggle streamers. And this is how disingenuous the struggle streamers and cyber thoughts are. They don't just slander me on YouTube. What a lot of people don't know is they actually try to sabotage the work. I had one struggle streamer. Y'all all know who he is. I'm not going to call his name. But he actually impersonated me on a phone call to the utilities company in Delaware. They taped them and let me hear it. They taped them. He called up there saying, I'm Umar Johnson. He used my name, my phone number, my address, and he actually got access to the accounts. Once we found out, we had to put a certain passcode on the account so can't nobody access it but me. He tried to get the gas shut down, the electric shut down, the water shut down. You see what I'm saying? They don't just hate. They try to stop the work. And there's nothing more hypocritical than slandering somebody. Where the school at? And then I'm going to go behind his back and try to stop the school from happening. You follow me? They called the city. They've made all kind of false complaints against us. They said things like he's getting work done on the school without the proper permits, which has never happened, right? They've called the attorney general on me. They've called the FBI on me. They've called the governor on me. We've been audited twice because of them. Like, they vandalized the school. You know what I mean? They don't just slander YouTube. I want y'all to understand. This is not just we're going to talk bad about him on YouTube. No, they will impersonate me. They will contact the city government, the federal government. These people are so jealous and so envious and so full of self-hate that they're actually trying to stop the work. This is not just YouTube, brothers, because I could care less about YouTube. What do I care? You know what I mean? But they're actually trying to stop the work. So, you know, that's the sad part. Now, I will say this. When we first purchased FDMG, and it'll be 7 years on February 7th, we got to school February 7th of 2019. So that's 20, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I'm sorry, it'll be 6 years. February 7th of 2026 will be 6 years. And when we first bought the school, because they're so modern buildings, I thought it would only take us 3 years to get the school open. You know what I mean? If that, because the schools were half done anyway. But I completely underestimated the dishonesty and the lack of integrity that we've had to face from black contractors. We've never had a black contractor finish the work we paid them for yet. Not the floor contractor, not the paint contractor, not the HVAC, not the plumber, not the electric. Not a single black contractor has ever finished the work we paid them to do. You know what I mean? And it's unfortunate because if I would have just went with white people in the beginning, we probably would have been done 3 years ago. But I wanted to keep the money in the community because it's black people's money. Let me recycle this back to black people. You know, and don't get me wrong, I'm sure we got great black contractors out there, and we need to find some for the high school. So if there are any serious black contractors out there who actually finish the work that they're paid to do, feel free to reach out to us. But you got to be licensed in the state of Delaware, and you got to be licensed in the city of Wilmington. And that's another thing too, brother. You had people jumping up on internet lying. Oh, we was going to come and volunteer and do the work. And you know what's funny about that? We haven't had one person ever come to us saying they was going to do work for free, had a license in Delaware and a license in Wilmington show up. Nobody. That's a complete lie. You can't come and do work unless you license in Delaware and license in Wilmington. And then on top of that, these Negroes think I'm so stupid that just because you show up with a paintbrush and a bucket, I'm supposed to open up the door, just let you do what you want to do with the type of haters I got. People will come in there and mess some shit up. You understand? Just to try to undermine and stop what we're doing. And the big reason, good brothers, that so many people want to stop what we're trying to do, again, most people are supporters. But that little untalented temp, that little camp of coons out there, that little camp of coons, a big reason why they want to stop what we're doing is because when we open this school, there's no debate as to my place in Black history. There's really no debate now.
Because I don't think
But
it's a
once you
debate
get
right
that
now.
institution, once you get that institution, Booker T. Washington left that institution. You see what I'm saying? Once Dr. Umar leaves an institution that was built and financed without a single penny from white folks or any other group, there ain't nothing left to be said. Because how can the most requested, the most traveled, the most busy, how is he the one who builds an institution? He's busier than all y'all, the other people in consciousness. They not building nothing. All they do is go from city to city talking, most of the time regurgitating my talking points. I'm just going to be honest. If I got paid every time one of them regurgitated my talking points, I'd probably be a millionaire. Okay, but if I got the bottom line is I'm the busiest of them all, and I'm still the first one to build an institution. And I'm gonna be honest with y'all, fellas, I am not in any way, shape, form, or fashion embarrassed by the fact that the school isn't open in 6 years. I thought it would be open in 3, as I said, but I'm cool. You know why? Because what we're doing, we're the first to do it. So when people say, why is it taking them so long? My question is, compared to who? It's taking us so long compared to, because what we're doing, nobody ever done it before. We are not a charter school. We are not a bougie white, excuse me, a bougie black private school. You know what I mean? This is African centered school. So when people say, why is it taking so long? It's taking so long compared to what? A public school? We ain't a public school. A charter school? We ain't a charter school. A Catholic school? We ain't a Catholic school. A home school? Anybody could open up a basement, go get a couple books from the dollar store and claim they got a school. You got celebrities running to Africa, right? Getting empty buildings and putting some desks and chairs in there with a couple books and pencils from the dollar store saying they got a school. A school is not a school because you got a building with papers and pencils and books in it. A school is a school because you got a curriculum and you teach it and you transforming minds. And you know what's interesting too? You've never seen this many celebrities talk about building a school until I said I was opening one. If you go back and look when we started the fundraising in 2014, when nobody talking about schools like this. Now everybody want to do a school, right? But when you look at what they got, you got an empty building with some dollar store pads and some dollar store pencils. That ain't no damn school. So, you know, but I just let people talk. You got other people claim they got schools. They ain't even got no school. They don't get asked no questions either. I'm the only one who gets asked the questions, but that's because I'm the most serious person. You know what I mean? But it's all good. I mean, I love it. I take the good with the bad. I thank God for putting me in this position. You know, I didn't know what was going to happen when it did happen in September and October of 2010 with that Chicago interview and that Harlem lecture, and my life changed overnight. It caught me off guard. I didn't know it was happening. I didn't know it was coming, but it came. You know what I mean? And I thank God for it. You know, I would not undo it. I wouldn't change nothing. I've learned so much. You know what I mean? And I'm just getting started. We got a whole lot more to do.
Yes, sir.